Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Battle Bites here in World of Tanks, and I think I've got another first for the channel. This is the Firefly. It's the Tier 6 British medium tank, or should I say, it's the other Tier 6 British medium tank. No matter what I do, I can't help but compare this thing to the other British Tier 6 medium tank, the Cromwell, which is one of my favorite tanks in the game. It was really the first tank that I enjoyed. I just loved playing in World of Tanks. So a lot of people have love for the Firefly. It's a good tank in a lot of respects, but for me, it always feels like, man, I could be playing my Cromwell right now. So take everything I say during this gameplay with a bit of a grain of salt. I'm coming at it from that aspect, as in I'm always thinking of it in terms of what it could be if it was the Cromwell compared to this tank. But in its own right, it's a good tank. I'm a little unfairly harsh on it. But anyway, to the gameplay. We are in a standard battle. We're top tier here in Wide Park, and this is where I love to be on any kind of tank that's got some kind of gun depression. Even if it's not good gun depression, you can use that rail car up there, and after you get some initial spots, if you've got any kind of speed that you can get to the hill, light up the enemy team, and then you can kind of harass. You can find opportunities, look for enemies that are poking, or I had a great shot through the railway cars. I think it was at an Su-85. I think it was a Russian tank destroyer that you could see under the rail car my shot went. It was great. So it just creates a lot of opportunities for you, that position on both sides, whether you spawn north or south. If you're aware, if you watch the map, if you watch for the enemy movements, and you can kind of pounce and take advantage of a situation. Speaking of trying to take advantage of a situation, we've got an ARL 44 in front of us, a tier 6 French tank, and after a couple of shots, we're able to remove it from the game. That's a dangerous enemy that we have gotten out of the way there. And now this position here, pushing through this railway, is usually really dangerous. If you can do it, you're going to win the map most times in my experience, but usually there's a lot of tanks kind of throwing fire down here. But right now, I kept an eye on the map, and it looked like this spot was pretty well undefended, or left pretty undefended. So I was able to poke through, and I do have the wreck of the ARL in front of me there, so I'm able to use that and kind of shield me from fire, and I'm able to put a shot into the light tank, followed in quick succession by a shot into, I believe it was a T-40 Tier 4 tank destroyer, and we've got 3 kills here in a battle that is not even 3 minutes old. So great result. Wide Park is certainly a fast and furious map. One of the things about the Firefly that I don't like, but I can't really say the Cromwell's better, is the accuracy. So I'm at a bit long range here. I mean, 450 meters is nothing to sneeze at, but I did fully aim. That target was not moving, and I missed my first shot pretty badly there, but the second one went in, and that was the Ram 2, and the third one I took a nice blind shot, thought I knew where he was. It went through the wall and took out that American medium tank, and then very quickly another tank destroyer pokes out. I think that was a Hellcat, and we put a shot in, and as he's retreating, I led the last shot and secured that kill as well, and now we are up to 5 kills in a battle that is less than 4 minutes old, so a real big blitz here. Then all of a sudden, KV2, it's time for a brown note moment. KV2 pokes around the corner, and yeah, getting hit with one high explosive shell in that could end my game very quickly. This tank is not well armored. It's okay for tier 6, but that high explosive shell could pen me and could end my game very quickly. But thankfully I was able to use the bridge for cover, the IRL for cover, and then I come around the corner here and I see a Panzer IV-H, that's the Hydro, tier 5 German medium tank, and after missing again from point blank range that I didn't let fully aim, but still, that shot went really wide. I let the second one fully aim and secure our kill, and we get ourselves a Top Gun. So now I'm trying to help flank the KV2. We've got a Churchill that's pushing at the front of the KV2, so I flank and use the decent mobility here. Put one in. I try to juke. I don't know if he's loaded. My first shot tracked him. My second shot went in and secured the kill, and now we are up to 7 kills. That's a Devastator medal, and there's still 5 tanks left. So at this point, I've never had a really good game in this tank. It's always just been kind of okay. I'm salivating. I'm tasting the Radley Walters, and it's an artillery right in front of us. We put one in, but no, my ally gets a quick second shot, and then, oh, that was a golden opportunity. The T-28, I rushed that shot. He was poking out, but I waited, fired when he was behind cover, duffed it into the corner of the building, and then the T-28 gets taken out by an ally as he sweeps to the right. Oh, that was a really bad decision. So then I stop here. I'm aiming at the Matilda, tier 4 British medium tank that's very well armored, but not when a tier 6 is shooting at it. We don't have any trouble going through that tank. But by delaying and shooting, now the Churchill's gone through. The wreck of the artillery is blocking me. Am I really going to throw away this golden opportunity for a Radley Walters? So we're going to chase down the Matilda. I'm faster than that tank. I'm faster than the Churchill. I should be able to get there and put some damage in and try to secure myself another kill here and really make this one for the memory logs. But then 2 enemies jump in the cap circle 43 seconds away. So I swallow the pill and I say, I'm not going to chase that Matilda down. I need to go back. Because, yeah, a great game. 7 kills, 17 hits. This is going to be a great game. But if it turns out to be a loss because I'm selfish and going after the Matilda, shame on me. So instead, I come back. And the thing to remember, Wide Park is a very small map. So even though my allies weren't back at the base, they were able to get back very quickly. And my allies have taken out both cappers without any real threat to the cap timer. I had loaded the premium rounds there. There were heavy tanks. They were in the cap. I was expecting something dramatic there for a reset. Didn't need it. Instead, we climb back up, put 1 into the Matilda. We're going for our reload. 1 more second for the shot to go out. And instead, before we're able to pull the trigger a second time, our allies remove the Matilda. So yes, 7 kills with 5 tanks left on the enemy team. And due to a little bit of bad RNG and a couple of poor decisions on my part, we're not quite able to secure that 8th for a Radley Walter. But still, a heck of a lot of fun in the Firefly. Not something I get to say very often. Usually I'm a little disappointed by the lack of speed. I'm a little disappointed by the lack of armor, by the lack of the gun quality. But here, it all kind of worked. It all came together. I was able to stay in the fight, not take many hits, and we were able to put up a high caliber, a first-class mastery badge, Devastator for 7 kills, 2,180 damage, another 700 just about for the assistance. This was during one of the events where we were earning points, of course, so it was a good event for that. 60,000 silver and 3,164 XP, doubled for our first win without a premium account. And we'll quickly now take a look at the team scores just to see what we ended up with. And 1,582 base XP. So in a tier 6 tank, that's a good match. Again, I think of it in terms of my Cromwell, and 1900 and 2000 are my best kind of games for the Cromwell. So still a long way off from that. I think the big, I'll call it a weakness of this tank, is it just doesn't have the mobility to clean up like the Cromwell does, and to make other tanks miss like the Cromwell does. If you swoop in on a tank in the Cromwell, you're going to get there before anybody else. You can get behind the tank, get 2-3 shots in before they're even able to point their gun at you. Not quite the Firefly specialty. The Firefly likes to get set up. It has a nice rate of fire. It likes to set up, get the gun on target, and then just pump shots out. Firing on the move, not that great. Moving and circling targets, not that great. Again, the mobility on this tank is just okay. But it was introduced as part of the new tank destroyer line that goes up to the FV 4005 stage 2, the other Death Star, if you will. So I did jump into this tank. I have been passively grinding the AT line up towards the Death Star. That just looks like a fun tank, a novelty tank to have that might create some fun replays. But the AT line is killing me. It's absolutely brutal. I'm just struggling. I'll do not even my daily doubles, but doubles when there's an event going on that increases XP, then I'll play the tank. I think I'm on the AT8 right now, and then I'll play it to advance the XP a little bit, because I just can't play that tank without some kind of massive bonus. But the other line looks a little more usable, a little more enjoyable. I think a couple of the TDs there in the FV 4005 line are actually based on the chassis of the Cromwell. They just have a big gun on it. So I think that'll be all right. A little bit more mobility, no armor, but that's okay. The armor on the AT lines very quickly gets outmatched as you start to increase those tiers. So a nice replay, something in the Firefly. I haven't put one of these up before. Thought you guys might enjoy that. Hopefully you did. If you play the Firefly, if you have success, leave me your tips. Tell me about it. Tell me about your best game in the Firefly, because it's certainly, like, this is one of my best games in the tank. It's just not one that I play a lot, and it's not one that I really have found my groove with. But it's starting to come together here. I'm just about done with it. I'm on the last little bit of the XP grind. So hopefully I'll be wrapping it up soon. I don't know if I'll be able to secure my ace tanker in it before moving on to the next tank, but I'm going to keep cracking at it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that replay. If you did, please feel free to leave a like. And as always, you can subscribe to Meat City Gaming for future World of Tanks console content. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.